everybody's time. My name is Joseph Miranda. As you all know, broker, owner of Miranda Executive Realty, and this is our latest installment of our Ask the Broker, our elite sales training that we do in this office. Before we jump into it, we're going to do a shameless plug because we are always looking for great agents to add to the team. If you know an agent that's complaining about their current brokerage, an agent that just got their license, is looking for a brokerage, they can always count on support, technology, tools, training, leads, whatever they need. They're going to get that over here at our brokerage. So for those agents in our office, if you want to share our information, you can share this QR code with them, and we'd be happy to reach out to them. If you're an agent and you're watching, please scan the QR code, or some details will be down in the comments to reach out to us as well. Before we jump into it, quick disclaimer. Again, Joseph Miranda, broker, owner, Miranda Executive Realty. I've been selling real estate and in the real estate industry for a very long time, but in all of that time, I am still only a real estate broker. I am not an attorney. I am not an accountant. I'm not anything but a real estate broker. So the information that I give, it's based on my own experience. It's my opinions that I'm giving, not necessarily giving advice. Any financial advice that it sounds like, any investment advice, any medical advice, whatever type of advice you may think that I'm giving you, if it does not fall into the advice that you would receive from a real estate broker, please seek out the proper, the proper professions for that. This being said, also questions and answers. You've got a couple of options here. Number one, if you do have a question as we're going along, please just type it into the chat box, and I'll do my best to answer it. Once I finish my thoughts. Otherwise, at the end, we will also have a time where you can ask any questions, or even give comments if you think I missed something. Whatever it is, just let me know, because we're always looking to do better and to improve. All right, let's jump into it. A business plan. Why do I even need this? The first question, even before why do I even need this, the first question you're probably asking is, why are they doing a training on why do I need a business plan? And to answer that question, the reason we're doing a training on why you need a business plan is because at our last Ask the Broker session, we went through the business plan and how to do the business plan, and we have received really just a few responses to people that actually want to fill out the business plan. I don't recommend things for people to do just to fill time. I don't like make work. I don't. If I were to give, I wouldn't hire somebody to dig a hole and then fill that hole back in, and then go dig another one and go fill it back in. Right? That's a waste of time. When we recommend something in our brokerage, it's because we really believe that this is a vital aspect of your business. And to me, if you're going to start a business, you need a business plan. If you approach, the SBA, the Small Business Administration, and you want to get a loan from them, one of the documents that they're going to ask you for is a business plan. Would you, as a real estate agent, approach the SBA and ask for, a small business loan? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. This is not the purpose of your business plan here. But what I'm saying is, banks being very intelligent, lenders being very intelligent, before they lend you money, they're going to want to see a business plan, because they know that if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So just walking in and having some vision is great. Vision is where your plan starts. Vision is actually part of your mission plan, but it's not your business plan. Your business plan is very different. If you're a real estate agent, who is the CEO of your company? You are. I'm the CEO of Miranda Executive Realty, but if I'm outside of that realm, if I'm out in the world acting as a real estate agent, then the real estate agent is the CEO of their own business. And believe me, being a real estate agent, you truly are a full-time business. I believe this so much that we did a training on how to treat your real estate business like a business, and I highly recommend that you go through that. And what you're going to see in there is that we do also recommend part of that real estate business, you should have a business plan. Very important. Do you want to be a legitimate business person? If you want to be a legitimate business person, then you need to have a business plan, right? Why? Because number one, it's going to set the mindset for your entire year, right? I don't care personally. So we're going to come up with some action plans at the end of this. And if you don't do any of these action plans, I don't care. The only thing that I care about is that what I believe is really, really, really important is to actually just create your business plan. If you don't know where to start, it doesn't matter. You start somewhere, right? It doesn't matter, where you start on it. We've made it super simple to complete the business plan, but there's so many challenges inside your business that by just completing a business plan, it's going to help you to navigate around these obstacles. It's going to help you even to avoid a lot of these challenges. These are just a couple that are pretty consistent within, within the career of being a real estate agent, lead flow, income, and burnout. Number one, the 5 things that we train: lead generation, lead follow-up, going on appointment, closing, going on appointments, writing contracts, and closing those contracts. Those 5 things starts with lead flow. You need to know for the year, where are your leads going to come from, right? Like where do these leads come from? Number 2, income, because those leads, even though they may cost you a little bit of time and a little bit of money up front, they should turn into income. Which lead is your better source of lead flow, right? Which lead has a higher conversion rate? And number 3, burnout. If you don't really know, poor mindset, work randomly, reacts to tasks only, and no set routine. If you don't have a plan for your day, this is probably the most important part of this, and this is why people burn out in real estate. Because I was in a training organization once, and they would call it a Pop-Tart real estate agent, right? That the minute something came up, the agent just pops up, and that's where they go. Hey, I want to see this property today. When do you want to see it? I want to see it right now. Great, I'll meet you over there. That's not how you should be as a real estate agent. You need to have a plan for your day, for your week, for your month, right? There's things that you should do every single day in your real estate business. There's things that you don't need to do every day, but you need to make sure you do it weekly. There's things that you don't need to do every day or every week, but you better make sure it gets done monthly. And there's one thing that you need to make sure that you get done once a year, and that's complete your business plan, so that you have a plan. Whether you stick to it or not, that's the next thing, right? But the first step is to create the business plan. Once you have the business plan, if you never look at it again, that's another thing. But I guarantee you that business plan is going to give you at least a little bit of clarity into your year, right? So what does a business plan actually do for you, right? Again, clarity. It's going to give you that clarity on, okay, these are my strengths. These are my weaknesses. These are the areas that I've got every I dotted and every T crossed. And these are the areas where, I need to kind of fill these things in, right? It's going to take your goals and it's going to align your actions with it every single day. What do you want to do? Well, it starts with how many houses do you want to sell in 2026? How many do you want to sell in 2026? Do you even know that number? How many homes, how many transactions do you want to do? And in those transactions, how much volume do you want to sell in 2026? Because that's very different. You can't just say, I want to sell $10 million in real estate in 2026. For somebody, that might be one house because they sell $10 million homes, right? For some, that could be 20 homes because they're $500,000 average. To some, that could be 40 homes because you're selling condos at $250,000 a pop, right? So this is going to align your goal. Do you want to be a luxury agent? Do you want to sell the $10 million home, or do you want to sell the $250,000 condo? Which one do you want to sell? If you don't know, then what are you doing? You're just out there acting randomly and you're taking whatever comes your way. And if that works for you, that's fine. It doesn't work for me, right? For me, my goal was to not have to make cold calls anymore. So what did I do? I built my business around referrals and past clients and repeat customers. That's it. That's what I built my business around. Now I take whatever comes to me now, because I don't have a lot of control over what they're giving me. I'm not farming a neighborhood. I'm not farming a demographic. I'm not farming a profession, right? So, but I'm taking what comes into me. Sometimes it's an $850,000 listing. Other times it's a $3,000 a month listing. Other times it's a $180,000 buyer. By the way, those three came to me just in the last month. Those are three real referrals that came to me through my sphere of what I do, that I didn't have to pick up the phone and make a phone call. Because that's the intention that I have with my business, right? What else does the business plan do? It gives you direction, right? Think of it like this. Your business plan is your roadmap, right? Your business plan is your roadmap. What's your compass, right? Your compass is your transactions and your volume, right? But still, how do you know where you are? What's your latitude and longitude, right? How do you, sorry, I said that wrong. Your latitude and longitude, your transactions are your latitude and your longitude, right? And your goals are your compass, right? Because those are going to tell you if you're going in the right direction. So in order to have this, you need this complete set of plans. You can't just look at a map and figure out how to get to California, because you got to know if you're going north, south, east, or west. You got to know where you're at right now, right? So you're going to set your goals of a certain transaction, certain volume, certain lead sources, all of these things, right? Those are your goals. That's your destination on the map. Business plan is the entire map. That tells you where you're at, where you need to go, all of your checkpoints in between, the path that you're going to take in order to get there, right? But your latitude and longitude that's literally just the transactions and the volume that you've done already. That's going to tell you where you're at on that path, right? Oh, we're halfway there. We're 3/4 of the way there. You want to get from Florida to California in 12 months. Well, you got to map that out. And so within 6 months, you need to be essentially halfway there, right? If that's how your map is going to be drawn out. Maybe not, because maybe you plan on getting, more than halfway there in the first 3 months, because you know that you're going to climb the Rockies afterwards, and it's going to take you 9 months just to get over the Rockies, right? So it depends. Maybe, your fourth quarter historically is your best quarter. You should know these things. And when you fill out your business plan this year, it's going to tell you that next year, right? Why? Because of all of the components that are inside a structured business plan, right? What are the things that you're looking at? What are the areas of clarity that are going to be inside a strong real estate business plan? Well, I alluded to one of them already, right? It starts mission, vision, and values, right? Or vision, mission, values, whatever. What's your vision for your company? It starts with the vision. What do you see yourself actually achieving? For me, another component of real estate, right? Real estate it's not my dream to be a real estate agent. For me personally, this is the truth, right? This is just where I'm at. Is it your dream to be the 70-year-old? You see the jokes on social media about, if you see somebody wearing these shoes and these pants, they've been selling real estate for a very long time, right? Because the 70-year-old real estate agent dresses a certain way. Or, I don't want to be the 70-year-old real estate agent still using my profile picture from my 30s, because that happens. I don't want to be that person, right? Real estate for me is my ticket to freedom, right? It's the thing that I can do maybe 1-2 transactions per month, and I don't have to work anymore. My bills are paid. And then that frees up. Real estate frees me up to do everything else in my life that I want to do. That's my vision. Vision's great. It starts with your vision. But If you don't have a mission, then you're never going to see your vision through, right? You need to have a mission. Okay, so what's your mission statement? So it starts with your vision statement. Where do you see yourself? You know, what is the big picture here? And your mission is, how do you achieve that vision, right? So your mission statement is going to outline the areas that you're going to achieve that. Our business plan has that. And your values, what's important to you? Charity, you know, charitable giving, maybe, right? All of these, the key tag words, you know, integrity, professionalism, like, but what are the values? Why do values matter in a mission statement? Because values give you direction. Values will help you make the decisions. If you promise to always be honest and work with integrity, then values, there's no question when something comes up and somebody says, hey, I'll give you X amount of dollars to go do this thing, right? You're not going to do it because you promised that your values are integrity and honesty, right? So the values are the filter that your organization is going to run every decision through, because the mission doesn't have to be an ethical mission, right? If your mission, you know, if your vision is, I'm going to make I'm going to make $1 million a year in real estate, and the mission is, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make $1 million in real estate, and you have no values, then you're literally going to do whatever you have to do to make $1 million a year in real estate. The values will say, well, I'll do whatever I take, but I'm going to do it legally, ethically, and morally, right? And what are those values within the legal, ethical, and moral system? I can't tell you that. This is your business, right? What's your vision for your business? I have mine, but my vision doesn't do anything for you. My mission statement doesn't do anything for you. My values do nothing for you, right? I want to have Christian values, but everybody in here might not be a Christian, and that's okay, right? But what are the values that you follow, right? Metrics, KPIs, I talk about these all the time, right? Because this is your latitude and longitude. Right? This is your compass. This is not your map. The KPIs are not your map, right? The KPIs are going to tell you where you're at on the map, what direction you need to go on your map. Do you need to pick up the pace, right? We're getting into the end of June, you know, and I'm way behind on my goals. Well, your metrics are going to tell you, well, duh, it's because I've only been making 3 phone calls a day. And based on my numbers, I'm only actually having 1 conversation per week because I'm not doing enough. Pick it up. That's going to tell you I need to do more, right? Your KPIs are your numbers. Production goals, those are obvious, right? How much volume and how much transactions do you want to do? Why does it matter that you know your volume and your transactions? Because that's going to tell you what your average sales price needs to be. Right? Again, going back to the analogy of $10 million, can be 1 transaction and can be 40 transactions, right? Same outcome, just a different means with which to achieve that outcome. You know, what do you want it to be, right? And then stretch it a little bit, right? Lead generation, where are your leads coming from? Well, that matters because of your production goals, because if you want to sell one $10 million house in 2026, where are you going to get that $10 million lead? Right? It's probably not going to be on Craigslist. Maybe it will, but maybe not. Right? Like, where does that $10 million lead come from? You need to have a strategy. And are you gonna, if you get one $10 million lead, are you gonna be able to close that 1 lead, or do you need 10, or 20, or 30, or 40? And if you close 2 $10 million leads, is that okay? Or 3? Right? Once you have your lead generation strategy, you got to have a market plan. Right? Lead generation is one thing. Marketing is another thing. Marketing and lead generation are not the same thing. They're different, right? Marketing is your broad umbrella, all these other areas that you want to touch. Are there any other areas that you want to touch? You know, what is your plan there? CFO, if you're the CEO, you're the COO, the CMO, you're also the CFO of your business. What's your budget? Can you just spend whatever you want? Do you do that at home? You know, do you have a budget for your home expenses, or not? Do you just say, you know, do you make a grocery list, or do you just go to Publix and buy whatever the hell you want to buy? Right? Well, whatever you do at home, at minimum, duplicate that in your business. Systems, processes. Like, do you want stuff? Do you want automations in your business? Do you want AI in your business? Do you want things that just automatically, somebody sends an email, boom, a response automatically gets sent out with some AI response? Well, how do you make that happen? Right? What systems and processes do you want to put in place for the year of 2026 that will make your life easier? Your $10 an hour task, right? Because you are doing a lot of $10 an hour tasks. AI can do most of your $10 an hour tasks. But what are they? And what AI system do you need to use? Right? Or what automation do you need to have? What do you need to do? And then personal development, very important. We need to constantly be improving ourselves. We need to be making ourselves better, right? These are the components that are built into a strong real estate business plan. If you have more, then we can add more. Not a big deal. Easy enough, right? Add stuff. This is just your real estate business plan. This isn't even for your life. This isn't your New Year's resolution. This is your real estate business plan. This is your map. You are creating your map, planning out your trip for your destination on where you want to be, December 31, 2026. Where do you want to be in all of these areas? Right? Where do you want to be? Right? Where do you want your production goals to be? And when you look back at 2026, you can say, okay, I executed that plan flawlessly. You're probably going to look back at the end of 2026 and say, it didn't work out the way that I thought it was. January 1, I got hit. Bam. It's like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until they get punched. Right? The minute you get punched, now you got to shift. Right? Now you got to shift. And your business plan is not static. It's not stuck. You don't say, okay, boom. All right, this is in stone. No, it's dynamic. Your business plan is alive. Your business plan throughout the year changes, right? All of your lead generation strategy. Wow, I thought these were going to work out great. These all suck, right? March, these all suck. Nothing's doing anything, and I'm losing a lot of money. I'm blowing my budget every month, and I'm getting no results. You need to relook at your lead generation strategy, right? Current KPIs. I thought I could dial 100. I thought I could make 100 dials per day on the phones, but that takes a lot longer than I thought it would take. I better pare those numbers down, right? But wait, that's going to affect my production goals because now I'm making less phone calls, which is going to lead to less appointments, which is going to lead to less listings or buyers, which is going to lead to less closings, right? So now I need to readjust my production goals. That's okay. It's a dynamic business plan throughout the year. And when you do one, when November, December of 2026 comes around, and we say, okay, time to start working on business plan for 2027, because it's gonna happen, right? 12 months from now, we'll be having the same conversation, just a different year. But it's going to be a lot easier because you already did one in 2026. The very first business plan that you do will be the hardest one that you ever do in your life because you've never done one. Every single business plan after that will be leaps and bounds easier because you come from that area of experience and you're already going to know what you already know, right? So how do you implement all of this? What do you need to do, right? What do you do? Well, there's a few little strategies that we have. I'm going to tell you my favorite thing to do when it comes to implementation, right? So here, right here, this is your time blocking and weekly structure, but it really falls into one category or two little columns. Something I do almost every Sunday night, and I talk about this. If you've been on any of my trainings, you know this is how I make my decisions. But these decisions are based on my business plan. These decisions are based on the things that I said that I'm going to do every day, every week, every month, every year, right? These things, but they all fall in there. It's my KPIs, it's my production goals, right? It's my marketing, it's my lead generating, it's all of that. They all come in here, and they come into what? I call it the brain dump into the Eisenhower matrix. Brain dump. What is a brain dump? It is literally that. I have a notebook, and I've shown this to you guys before. I have a notebook, and everything that I need to do goes into that notebook, and it's a mess. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. Like, it's just as it comes out of my head. Most Sunday nights, I sit up and I think about all of the people and all of the transactions and all of everything that I have going on in my life, all of my property management, my personal, right? If I have a doctor's appointment, if I have a dentist appointment, if I have a, if I have a showing, if I've got to go stop by a place that we're getting ready to list that's getting, work done to it while we're preparing it to list. Like, we have a vacancy at a rental coming up. What do I need to do? Like, whatever it is, Christmas shopping, it goes in there. It goes in there. This is, I'm on Sunday nights, I'm planning out my week. Do I get everything? No. And as I go, like throughout in the weekends, this is sitting on my dining room table because as I think of things, boom, I jot it down. I just write it down, right? People I need to call, things I need to do, different organizations I'm involved in, whatever I need to do, it goes in there. I don't have this is not organized at all. It's all there, right? But then what do? I go through the Eisenhower matrix, and it's vertical, horizontal. If you've been, this is the quadrant right here, and you need to decide what quadrant do each of these things fall into. Quadrant 1, urgent. This is the way that I label these, right? Quadrant 1 for me is urgent and important. Those are the things you would do right now, right? Urgent and important. I have a showing in an hour. Go show a property. Right? Go meet a buyer, go meet a seller, whatever. That's urgent and important, but do that right now, right? Quadrant 2 for me, still urgent, but it's not important, right? These little things like, I don't know, to me, lunch is urgent, but not important, right? Lunch is something that, like, I just might get really hungry, but if I don't eat, it's not the end of the world, right? Not that one, bottom left. Urgent, not important, right? Quadrant number 3, not urgent but important. This is the one that everybody puts off. Do you know what business planning is? Business planning is not urgent but important. Do you know what your annual checkup at your doctor is? Your blood work that your doctor tells you to go get? It's not urgent, but it's important. What about your biannual dental exams? Not urgent but important. What about the oil change on your car? Not urgent, but important. What about spending time with your family, going to, your child's sports game? It's not urgent, but it's important. Not urgent and important are the things that people don't do. Not urgent, but important are the things that when you do them, it has the biggest impact on your life. Not urgent, but important must be scheduled, right? How do you handle it, right? Urgent and important, you do it right now. Urgent, not important, I'll do that next, whatever. Not urgent and important must go into your calendar. Ask the broker, in my opinion, now I'm biased because I run these, they're not urgent, but these are important trainings, right? Not only are we training you on, business and real estate and tactics and strategies, but we're training you on mindset. And the more you attend these meetings, these trainings should give you a little bit of anxiety, in my opinion. You should have, when you're sitting here or when you're, watching this later or, whatever, you should have a little bit of anxiety because these meetings are here to remind you of what you should be doing that maybe you're doing or maybe you're not, right? They're to sharpen you and make you better and take you that 1 degree better that you need to be. But I can't emphasize enough, when you understand not urgent but important are the things that move the needle in your life, they need to go into your calendar. These are the things that if you ignore these, somewhere down the road, there's a consequence that will be paid, right? There's something that will happen. Try not going to your annual checkup. You might be okay when you're in your 20s, somewhere down the road that's going to catch up to you. Don't go to the dentist. Don't stop going to the dentist, right? Don't go every 6 months. Watch what happens, right? You're going to have a toothache, maybe, right? Don't change the oil in your car. Don't go to your kids' sports games. In fact, don't show up for your kids at all. Don't do a business plan. Watch what happens, right? But when you do those, and in those areas that you decided this is important enough for me to put this in my calendar and for me to actually do this, you will move the needle in your life. Maybe not as fast or as effectively as you'd like to, but you will move the needle in your life. And then not important, not urgent, throw it away. If it's not urgent and it's not important, then why is it even on your list? You don't need to do it now. It's not important to ever do it. Just throw it away, right? Like, it doesn't matter, right? Oh, urgent, not important, you delegate that one, right? So urgent, important, you do it. Urgent, not important, you can probably delegate it. Not urgent, important, you better put that in your calendar and you better show up, because those are the ones that really matter. Those are the things that change your freaking life, right? Those are the ones right there. Do them or don't, they'll affect your life. And not urgent, not important, you probably don't have to do it at all, right? And so you label them 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? If you have a 4 on there, you better ask yourself, well, why did I write a 4 on there? Why did I write down something that's not urgent, not important? Maybe it is, maybe it's urgent but not important, or not urgent and important. I don't know. Figure that one out. I can't tell you what these things are or how you should, classify these. So performance tracking. All right. So moving on past beyond all of this to performance tracking. Right? These are the calculations. Now, these are done for you. You don't need to memorize these. You don't need to write these down. When you use the business plan that we presented last week, these are all done for you. All you have to do is fill in, hours, dials, how many, contacts. All you have to do is fill these numbers in, and it does the math for you. Right? But what this does is this tells you, okay, if I want to sell 100 houses in 2026, here's how many of all these things I need to do, right? Because you're going to work it backwards. How many contracts? How many agreements? How many appointments? How many consultations? How many contacts? How many dials? How many hours? It just works it backwards. That's all it's doing for you. It's just working this thing backwards for you. All this math is already done for you, right? But you need to know your numbers. How many hours a week are you working in your business? Do you even know? Do you even care? How many number of dials, how many phone numbers are you going to dial? Because whether you want to be a professional cold caller or not, in real estate, you have to pick up the phone. And if you've never cold called, then you've never made the mistakes. And if you've never made the mistakes on a cold lead, then you're going to make the mistake on a warm lead, or maybe even a hot lead, right? To say, well, I didn't get into real estate to make cold calls. Sure. Neither did I. None of us did. But do you know what to say when somebody asks you, how's the market? Do you know what to say when somebody asks you, have you sold a house in my neighborhood? Do you know what to say when somebody asks you how long you've been a real estate agent? How many homes you've sold? Right? Like, do you know what to say? And if you're a brand new agent, you probably don't know what to say, and you think that there's no answer to that. But we have scripts for everything, right? And we teach you what to say. And it's better to learn what to say on a cold lead than it is to have to learn what to say. Again, I use this analogy. You're sitting at the hairstylist, getting your hair done, right? And the hairstylist says, oh, yeah, you're talking, what do you do? I do this. I'm a real estate agent. Oh, my mom's thinking about selling her house. She actually needs to get it on the market in the next week. She's moving to California for whatever. Wow, great. Can I call her? Yeah. Cool. You get the number. You call her. That call is going to go one of two ways. You already practiced and blew it and made all the mistakes and said all the stupid things and stuttered and stammered on cold leads and got all those out of the way, and you call her like you're an expert, or you didn't, because you didn't get into real estate to make cold calls. You didn't get into real estate to call random people that you don't actually know. And if you didn't get into real estate to make cold calls and you never spoke with a cold lead, you have a hot lead on the line and she asks you, how's the market? How many homes have you sold? Have you sold in my neighborhood before? Right? So on and so forth. And she asks you all these questions. Do you know how to answer all these questions? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. That's why we give you the leads that we give you. Right? Now, all of these leads, everybody needs a roof over their head. Every lead is a good lead. There's no such thing as a bad lead. Because if you have a name, address, email, phone number, you have somebody who needs a home. Whether they're moving today or tomorrow or the next day, someday, I don't care where you are, someday they're going to take you out feet first in a body bag. You're moving. And you're moving into a piece of real estate 6 feet under. Right? And that house, what are they going to do with it? Maybe they rent it, maybe they sell it, who knows what they're going to do with it, but likely something is changing with that house. And there's going to be somebody there that needs to handle that transaction. Every lead is a good lead. Not a matter of the lead, it's the matter of the person, and it's the skill level of that individual. And the more number of hours that you make, making dials, getting contacts, going on appointments, writing contracts, getting those contracts to the closing table, the more of those you do, the better off you're going to be, right? Let's talk about your marketing plan for a moment, okay? Because marketing is something that a lot of people, they don't put a lot of thought into, right? So this is kind of your 8-month or your 8-step rules to marketing, right? Number 1 rule of marketing: avoid reckless spending. Do not reckless spend. Do not just look at a shiny object. This is where we go back. You are the CFO of your business. You need to control your spending. And it starts at home, to be honest with you. Learning how to control your spending starts at home. Having a budget at home will make it a lot easier to have a budget in your business. Do I stick to my budget completely? No. Every once in a while, a shiny object gets to me and I blow it, and then I'm like, crap, that was a stupid shiny object. Or I'm like, wow, that was an amazing shiny object, right? I love Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin goes way down, even if I don't have the money in my budget, I'm probably going to buy more Bitcoin, right? That is not financial advice. That's just what I do, right? And when it goes way up, I might sell it. And then I'll go buy a shiny object, maybe, right? Number 2, and that's not financial advice. You do whatever you want. You want to talk about Bitcoin? We'll talk about it outside of here. Number 2, geofarming works the best. This is true. It doesn't have to be geofarming, though. It could be any farming. Maybe you farm a profession. Engineers, lawyers, doctors. Maybe you farm networks. I'm in BNI. Does very well for me. Because why? Because I want to be a referral. I want to receive referrals. Referrals, past clients, return customers. That's what I want. So I'm in BNI. I farm BNI. Works very well for me. Right? But farming, listen to this. Listen to me when I say this. Farming is your best long-term strategy. All of the online lead sources, you will pay for those forever. And you will always be up against a number of other agents. When you farm, sure, you'll pay for it forever, but at some point, you will become the go-to person. Farming is your longevity in real estate, right? Reckless spending. When you start making money doing your random things that you do in real estate to start having sales, and you set a budget for a farm, and you do that for number 3, at least 6 months, you're going to start seeing results. Number 3, when you do a new marketing strategy, a new marketing idea, you need to give it at least 6 months to work. If you do something new and you give it a month and it didn't give you results, you didn't give it enough time to work. Real estate, the conversion cycle is not even a month. It's more than a month. Even for some of the best closers out there, you're going to go from lead to contact to contract to closing in a month or less. Not going to happen. Right? You'll be lucky if you go from lead to contract in a month. You need more. You need 6 months, sometimes a year, depending on what it is. Number 4, A/B testing, split testing. Try different campaigns. You're farming a neighborhood. If it's me, I would send the same postcard all the time. Except every once in a while, I would send out a different postcard, for a little bit and see which one performs better. Keep the one that performs better. Change something small. You don't change big things in A/B testing. Maybe you change the header. Maybe you change the text box. Maybe you change the image. Maybe you change a color, you just change one thing and you see which one of those two things works better, right? Number 5, sustainable marketing. Again, that goes back to farming. Is what you're doing sustainable? Is this going to last? Is this going to something that you can do for the long haul, or is this just another shiny object in your life? Right. Number 6, reinvesting. You have to reinvest your marketing dollars. Money makes money. Now, caveat on top of this. Listen to this. This is a very important detail that a lot of people miss. You are in business to make money. You must have a healthy relationship with money. Do you know what happens to a lot of people in business? They have such a large vision and they want to make this vision happen so quickly, and it just doesn't happen as fast as they want it to happen. So the minute they get money, bam, they have to spend it on the next big thing to move their vision a little bit farther, except for now they didn't make any money because they spent all of their money on the next thing, which takes another 6 months to return their money. So you're like, holy crap, I'm investing all my money into more marketing, and yeah, I'm making more money, but I'm reinvesting it into new marketing ideas and going and buying new things. And at the end of the year, I didn't make any money because I spent all of my money. That's an unhealthy money relationship. You're in the business to make money, which is why you're the CFO and you need to create your budget. You need to create your budget and you stick within your budget. Now, did I tell you that it's a static business plan? No, I said it's dynamic. So if you end up ahead, you say, wow, I only wanted to sell 10 houses this year and it's June and I've already sold 12. Can you increase your budget? Probably, depending on where your volume is. If you're doing better, you can increase your budget and continue to grow. But just remember, this is so important, and I want to be crystal clear on this. You must reinvest in your business, but you must not reinvest all of your money in your business. You are in business to make money. You're in business to pay bills. Do not have an unhealthy relationship with money and part ways with it as fast as you get it by going on your next new venture. Sit and marinate in your success for a little bit. Let that money sit in your account. Pay down some debt, but don't pay down all your debt unless you can afford it, right? Keep some money, have a reserves, have a savings, right? Like, have a healthy relationship with money. Do not have an unhealthy relationship with money where you feel like, I got to grow now. I got to grow. I got to grow. I got to grow. And for the first 5 years of your life are absolute struggle because you can't wait to try the next thing the minute you have your next closing. It's a big deal. That's a big deal. And that this is one of the reasons why you need a business plan, so that you don't fall into that trap. Because remember, it's business. Success in business has nothing to do with how much money you make. My opinion. Success in business is how much money you keep. How much of your money are you keeping? That's success in business. I don't care if you made $10 million in 2025. If you spent $10 million in one, then you lost $1. Right? But if you made $100,000 and you spent 30, then that means you made 70. And a $100,000 gross income company is more profitable than the $10 million gross income company. Why? Because they kept more money, right? Then later on, when you keep your money, then you got to find like tax strategies and all that stuff, but that's a different conversation. Number 7, follow up and automate. We talked about this, right? The second step in the sales cycle is lead follow-up. Lead follow-up. It's the most important step, in my opinion, because it's where everybody misses it. And then they wonder why, they don't convert their leads, because they don't follow up. Does every follow-up mean that you need to pick up the phone and talk to the person, that you need to handwrite an email or type a personal text message? No. Automation. Automations can be part of your follow-up plan, and we have those. Just ask us. Right? Just ask us. And remove no returns. Drop the losers. 6 months went by, writing's on the wall. This one sucks. I gave it a fair shot, never coming back to it. Boom, done, gone. Drop the losers, man. And you got to be quick to drop them. After 6 months, you don't see it, don't let it go 7 months. Don't let it go 8 months. Don't let it go 9 months. You know, $50 a month, that ain't bad. $50 a month for 6 months, that's $300. $50 a month for 12 months, that's $600. That's real money. And if it's not real money to you, just send it to me. We're good. Don't worry. But it's real money. They add up. All those monthly fees add up. All right. Tools and resources for what? For your automations and to make your life easier. We give you everything you need in this company. You have everything you need. Bold Trail is the most amazing CRM that you could have. Like it's beyond Cadillac for CRMs. It has everything you need. Back office, all you need to track your business. This has all your numbers. This has everything that you ever needed in your business. Google Workspace, we love Google. Warren Buffett just bought a whole bunch of Google because of Gemini and because of the things that Google is doing. Google, there is no, look, you look up something on the internet, what's that called? Google it. They don't say Yahoo it. They don't say AOL it. They don't say MSN it or whatever all of those other ones are, right? None of them, they're all irrelevant. Google it. Google it. That's what they say. Why? Because Google runs that space. Google runs it, man. And we've upgraded your Google with Gemini, which is the AI, right? If you've seen our little short videos of my stupid face doing stupid things, I'm probably not there actually doing those stupid things. It's probably Gemini that created a little short video of me doing that. You know, like the one where I was on fire and turned into a zombie. Do you really think that that happened? No, that was Gemini, and you can do that too, right? Bold Trail back office. Bold Trail has an app that you can send to all of your customers that, number one, they can search properties with AI. Number two, they can also track the value of their home. And number three, it gives them a way to contact you literally directly. So if all of your past clients don't have that app, then you're probably missing out, right? Because if they don't trust you enough to download the app, maybe something happened, right? So what do you do with the business plan? What do you do with the business plan? This is really important, right? They're monthly and quarterly reviews. If you want to look at your business plan every day, you can. After a while, you'll know exactly where to go. If you want to look at it every week, you can, right? You should look at your budget. Do you look at your money? Right? Do you look at your QuickBooks? Do you know what your margins are? These are important, right? But your business plan, review all data and results, monthly and quarterly. Look at it this month, right? What did I do? What works? What doesn't work? What am I going to stop doing? What am I going to keep doing? What am I doing new? But all of these considerations being making sure that I keep money in the bank account. Because going out and spending more money on a hope and a dream that this might work, right? What did you do? You're making the person that you're giving, right? You're helping them meet their goals for their business plan when they filled theirs out. But are they going to help you meet your goals for your business plan when you filled yours out? Right? Don't fund somebody else's dream. Fund your dream and make sure the things that you're doing align with your goals, right? That it's part of your strategy and it's something that you can allocate time to. If you're doing something that takes your time and it's costing you money and you've got to do certain things all the time, but you're not doing it, drop it. You've got to make these decisions in your business, but creating the business plan in the first place, reviewing it monthly and quarterly and making those tweaks, your business will be better and you'll see a difference. Your first year will be the hardest. It's the hardest in anything that you do. You go to start a new job, your first year is going to be the hardest at that job no matter what it is. Number 4 is really important. Refine systems and processes. If a problem happens, create a solution. And that solution should include, what do I need to do? What system can I, every time we have a problem, we create a system and or a process to avoid that problem from ever happening again. That's how you get better. And that's why when you look at our systems on the back, if you look at the back end of Miranda Executive Realty, we are like a fine-tuned freaking machine, man. Because we got systems and processes for everything, right? And then scale. How do you want to scale, right? Does your business plan include starting a team? Do you want a team? Maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to be a single agent. But as a single agent, do you want to have an admin? Right? Like for me, I never wanted to be the one like going out all day showing houses. I don't want to. That was never part of my goal. Initially I wanted a team, and I was the rainmaker. That's why I'm so good at generating leads now, because the rainmaker generates the leads, right? And you distribute them, and you have the systems and the processes to convert the leads and to help get the leads closed. That's what I wanted to be. I didn't want to be the one out selling houses. Now, I realized as time goes on, I had some mistakes in my thinking. I made a couple of very large mistakes initially, right? One of them was me wanting to be in the back end of my business, when you as the proprietor should be in the front of your business. You shouldn't push somebody in front of you, right? How do you make sure to do this? It's a lot, right? Like how do you make sure you do this? Well, number one, you can always come back and watch this video. You can always come back and you go into agent resources. You can always find these slides. And these are a nice refresher. You're like, I want to know what Joe said, but I don't want to listen to what the hell he said. I just want to see the slides. You can do that, right? But there's other options, right? There's other ways that you can be accountable to yourself or to somebody else. Number one, mentor or coach. We have those in office if you want one. And they go, our mentees go through all the same process. Do they all succeed at the same level? No. Because every mentee executes at a different level. Every mentee comes in with a different skill set already, right? Do you have somebody that you're checking in with, right? What about a peer? Do you have an accountability partner? You can have an accountability partner, and are you willing to be accountable to them, right? That you're check in. Let's have a call every week. Find somebody that you've connected with in here. There's plenty of opportunity to connect. And see, if you don't know, reach out to us, me, or somebody on the administrative team. Reach out to us, and we will get you an accountability partner. Right? Hire an admin. Do you want an admin? I don't want to do all the paperwork. I hate paperwork. I hate all that crap. Like, it sucks. Stupid. I understand it. I read it. I can explain it, but I don't want to be the one doing it. Right? And then finally your financial structure. Get your finances in place. Right? Income is earned once, wealth is built by keeping it and growing it. Understand that. Look around your house, like literally nobody's camera's on. Take a minute, look around your room. All of that used to be money. You spent it all. You spent all that money. Maybe it was good. Maybe it was good. I don't know. Right? I can't judge. I'm just saying everything you look at, you bought it. You went out and you thought of it. This screen, the camera I'm working on, my computers, desk, all of it used to be money. I had to make the decision that I was going to spend money on it, right? Number one, know your income expense reports. How much money is coming in, how much money goes out. You should know that every month. For the month of November, how much money did you make? How much money did you spend? How much money did you keep? The bottom number is the only number that matters. Nothing else matters. Doesn't matter, right? Do you have goals financially? Do you have a budget? Do you know your cash flow, and do you have money in savings? And are you able to track your money and make those adjustments as necessary? If I missed my savings goal for the month of November, I want to try to make that up in December. Right? There's a lot, it's a lot to it. And this is just basics. We didn't even deep dive really into anything. And there's already a lot here. Like I say, these trainings are meant to give you anxiety, to tell you what is going on with your business. And I have to tell you, when we did our business planning 2 weeks ago, we only got a few people that did it. And that's okay. Look, you don't have to do it. For me, I don't care. I'm not calling you. I'm not messaging you. This is not you're an independent contractor. You come and go as you please. I don't care what you do, but you should. You're paying to be a member of an association. You pay to be here, right? Like, do something. Do you want, what do you want your business to be? And if you want your business to be something and you didn't do a business plan, then ask yourself, where did that fall on the Eisenhower matrix? Because that might have been a 4, not urgent, not important, and that's probably why you didn't do it. And that's probably why you're going throughout your business just kind of floating along and take what comes and leave the rest behind. Because you're not, even if you did do a business plan, if you don't follow it, then you have no accountability for it, right? You created it so you follow it. So what's your call to action? Number 1, do your plan. Do it today. Why would you put it off? Why would you put off doing a business plan? This is your business. This isn't mine. This isn't homework. You're not graded on it. This is you. This is your dreams, your goals, what you want to achieve, your money, your relationship with real estate and how it pertains to you. This is your 2026, not mine. Number 2, you should have an accountability partner. You should have somebody that you can be vulnerable with and talk about your goals. It doesn't have to be your friend. It doesn't have to be your aunt, your family. It could be somebody in the office. It doesn't have to be somebody in the office. It could be your hairstylist. I don't care who it is. You should have somebody that you check in with and you can tell them, hey, here's what I'm doing, right? Number 3, review your business plan at least once a month. At least. Put it in your calendar. Because it's not urgent, but it's important. Put it in your calendar. That on the 15th of every month, I'm going to look at it. The 29th of every month, I'm going to look at it. The 1st of every month, I'm going to look at it. Why? Because you have to track your progress. Right? You have to track your progress. The last step is just execute. You have to execute on it. Do the things that you said you would do. If you don't want to do it, then you didn't tell yourself you'd do anything. You could do nothing and you're just fine. Right? But if you actually want to have results in your business in 2026, track results that you can track. You have to have a plan. The business plan is your plan. If you don't know how to do the business plan or don't know how to fill it out, if you don't know where to find it, it's as simple as pop it in the lobby room. You got myself and all of our admins. We're waiting to help you. Nobody's ever popped in the lobby room and gotten yelled at. Nobody's ever popped in the lobby room and been told, leave us alone. Nobody's ever popped in the lobby room and been told we're busy. Every time somebody pops into our lobby room, we stop what we're doing and we give you our full attention, because that's what we want to do. We are here to support you. The business plan that we created is not for me, it's for you. Right? I don't need to be here talking about a business plan. I've already done mine. Mine's done. It's maybe yours that isn't done that needs to be done. Right? Again, quote at the bottom. I don't know where that came from. Probably Irene. But it's true, your business will only perform as well as your systems. Build strong systems for predictable, scalable, resilient results. You want to do the damn thing in real estate? It starts here. This is where it starts. And then you refine it from here. But if you don't have a plan, then you're going to do whatever. And when you're doing whatever, you don't know what's working. You don't know what's not working. And maybe you can still find success, but it's going to take a little bit longer. Because even with a business plan, success will take some time. All right, it is now 1 o'clock. Time is up. Thanks, Joe. Anybody have any questions, answers, thoughts, concerns, anywhere where, am I wrong? Am I right? Anybody have anything to add or questions or anything otherwise?
This was really great, Joe. Thank you so much. I learned a lot. I'm very encouraged and motivated. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Happy to do it. I'm happy you were here amongst everybody else. Anybody else?
Yeah. Appreciate you. This was wonderful.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. We love doing these. So, anybody have any questions?
No, but thank you, Joe. That was amazing. Thank you. That was very motivating. I'm so happy I was able to join this. I needed this right before the end of the year.
Yeah, no problem. Well, we're happy you were able to join us for sure. So thank you for.
You were on fire.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate everybody's time. Again, look, pop in the lobby, everybody. If you guys need something, this is what we're here for. We want to see our agents working at a high level. We want to have the best of the best out there. You are a reflection of the best part of us. So, you know, we want to make sure that you guys are all working at the highest level possible. So thank you everybody for being here. Let's see, next week we'll be doing the roundtable mastermind, same day, same time. It's always Tuesday, noon to 1. However, because of the holidays, that will be our last training for the year. So we won't have any more roundtables, no more Ask the Brokers for the remainder of 2025. 2026, our first will be a roundtable on the 6th, and then an Ask the Broker on the 13th. And then what we're doing for that next, I believe it's the week after that, we are going to begin doing an in-person series. So we're working on putting this together. We don't have a name for it yet quite. We're thinking about something like Beyond Real Estate, something like that, but we're going to start doing trainings in person. And what we're going to do is bring professionals from different industries into these trainings to train on their profession. We'll probably start with people that are in the real estate field, but it's going to be really all over. It's going to be everything. So, you know, that's why we're calling it Beyond Real Estate, because it's not just about real estate sales. You know, you're going to learn about mortgages from a mortgage broker, title from a real estate, you know, from a real estate attorney. You'll probably learn about, you know, life insurance from a life insurance, you know, advisor. And all of these things are to give you a little bit more knowledge. Mold, you'll learn about mold from a mold remediation company, right? So these are what we want to do in order to take you outside of the real estate, lead generate, lead follow, going on appointment, writing contracts. We're going to start having these other professionals come in and train what they know in their business. We're hoping to have a good turnout, but just like everything else, if one person shows up, we always do the training. So we don't care how many people show up. If one person comes, that's good enough for us, and you know, the training will absolutely happen. We're trying to figure out if we're going to have cameras and record them, and you know how that's going to be available virtually. We don't know any of that yet, but hopefully we can get a good turnout on that, and that's going to be happening in January. Very excited about that. Those will happen once a month. So, you know, we're going to
I actually have a suggestion. We could call it going beyond the deal.
Beyond the Deal. Yeah.
Going beyond the deal.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, that's not bad. So, yeah, because, yeah, what we want to put out there is it's, you know, yeah, it's not, we're not here to teach you more about, you know, the sales process of real estate. Now we're here to teach you about every
Going
other.
beyond the deal.
Yeah. So, and that's to make you better. When you walk in, you can say, you know, I know about mold, you know, and that mold right there, here's what I know about it, right? Not, and then you always with the disclaimer, I'm not, you know, that I'm not in that. Oh, Lisa left. She want to hear what I have to say. But, you know, insurance. What's the difference between HO3 and HO6 insurance? Does anybody know? Right? So these things, you know, they're important to know. You know, what are the, you know, what's the tier 1 credit score in a mortgage? Again, important things to know. So we want to start teaching things that I can't necessarily teach because I'm not licensed to teach it. You know, we can have a CPA come in. We'll probably have a CPA come in and do a live in person, create your PA and set up your corporate structure. Right? Like these are going to be high value trainings that we're going to do, that we're going to start doing once a month in person. So I'm excited about it. But we still got to get some details figured out with it. We're hoping to roll it out in January. So, all right. Anybody else have any thoughts, questions, opinions, complaints? Very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. Look forward to seeing you next week at our last training of the year, roundtable. If I don't see you before then, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy, I don't know, whatever else, and Happy New Year, and we'll hopefully again see you soon. Don't stay stuck. See you in the lobby.